Hi everyone, my name is Huiya Zhuang. I'm from National Foreign Language Resource Center in Hawaii, and welcome to Lesson 6. So after Bonnie and Mada talk about the best practice and theory about learner-instructor interaction, now we're going to talk about the technology part. So first, we're going to talk about the purpose of using technology for learner-instructor interaction. So I think the technology of the purpose using it is to support learner-instructor interaction, including providing information on goals, expectations, and ethics, participating in and guiding discussions, providing support and encouragement, providing timely feedback, using multiple modes of communication, instructor modeling, and required participation. I believe that during Bonnie's presentation, we did have a basic idea about these theories and the best practice, so I'm not going to go to details about all those points. So in idea, even though we say technology is to support learner-instructor interactions, by theory, we'll always have trouble with technology. So let's raise your hand if you ever have trouble with technology in your classroom. Yes. Yes, we all do. So I love technology. Without technology, there's no way we can create online interaction and online course. But there's always a chance that you will have issues in your with technology. So thinking, how can I avoid reduce this kind of possibility? What should we do? Okay. So one principle I like to share. Let me go to the next slide. It's the universal design principle of instruction. Universal design of instruction principles. It's created by the Center of Universal Design at North Carolina State University. So when we look at those principles, the first one talks about equitable use, which means the design is useful and marketable to people with diverse ability. For example, if you want to share a website to your student, make sure it's accessible to everyone, including students who are blind using text-to-speech softwares. Also, if you want to share a computer app, make sure it can work in both Mac and PC. You don't want to share something working only one platform. And the second one, flexible use. The design accommodates a wide range of individual preferences and ability. If you want to, like we talk about a computer app, if you want to share a website or like an app like a Google Blackboard Collaborate, you want to make sure they work in different browsers. They don't just work in Firefox or Chrome. You want to make sure they also work in other browsers like IE or Safari because you don't know what your students are using. Next one, simple and intuitive use. You want to make sure it's easy to use and understand regardless of users' experience, knowledge, language skills, or current concentration levels. So like Bonnie mentioned, that sometimes if you found it's hard for you to use a technology, even to learn how to use it, maybe it's not good for your students. So when you choose a technology or a tool, I would suggest that choose the one that comes with tutorial or FAQ section. So if students have questions, they can find out where the answer is and how to use the technology. Next one, perceptible information. The design communicates necessary information effectively to users, regardless of ambient condition or the user's sensor ability. So if you want to share a document with your students, make sure it's readable in your machine. If you want to share a PowerPoint or a PDF, make sure it's readable for your students. Next one, tolerance of error. The design minimizes hazard and adverse sequences of accidental or unintended action. So for example, if you're going to try a software, make sure they have a chance to go back and redo the assignment, or there's a guidelines on the side to show them step by step how to do it. You don't want them to have a chance that you don't have one chance to record assignment, and without make a mistake, they cannot go back. That's too much effort, too much stress for students. Next one, no physical effort. The design can be used efficiently, comfortably, and with minimal fatigue. So you don't want to add extra burden to a student by just learning one tool. They should focus on the content, not the tool. And last one, size and space for appropriate use. For example, when we do the post a question about how you conduct individual meeting with your students, most of us choose phone. Why? Because it's individual meeting. Phone is a perfect tool for it. It's you don't want to. Most of you don't want to go to a global collaborate because it involves setting up, logging, enter your name, test your microphone. So if you are doing individual meetings, you go for phone or some app that's easy to use. If you want to go to a big group meeting like what we're doing today, we'll go for a big meeting room like Global Collaborate. That's why we say about choosing the appropriate size and space and easy for students to approach. Okay. Next one. So Bonnie already mentioned about there are two different kind of interaction online, synchronized versus asynchronized. Just a little review that synchronized means like what we're doing now. We log in the same time, we get immediate feedback and responses. Asynchronized are more like a discussion post. You don't have to log in the same time, and the response is not immediate. Okay. So we did a poll question. So the activity like individual meeting with your student is a typical activity as a synchronized learner-instructor interaction. Okay, so what other type of activities and tools are available as synchronized learner-instructor interaction? Let's look at group meetings. We have online meetings like our webinar. You can use a tool like Global Collaborate, Adobe Connect, or Skype. You have a limitation of 25 people. Or you can do a simulation meeting like Second Life. I know some language instructors, they use Second Life to have students go online as a group, and they create their own avatar, and they only allowed only to use target language. That's the idea for group activity. So remember when we talk about appropriate size and room for your tools? For individual meetings, when we think about what tools are available, like Skype, appearing, or phone, what is the limit for those tools? Appearing, I'm not sure if you have used that before. It's a good tool, but it only limits 8 people per meeting. So it's perfect for a small group meeting. For a big group, you find different tools that has a capacity that you're looking for. Another tool is the office hour. You can do virtual office hour via Skype or via phone. Or if you want to get instant responses from students, if you have Global Collaborate, you can do a poll question. Or you can use additional tool like Poll Everywhere. Okay. That was my second poll question, but let me skip that. So next part, we're going to talk about asynchronized instructor interaction. So the simple one is like a welcome message for a student. How can you conduct a welcome message in the beginning of class? You can do it via email. You can do it via audio. Like we mentioned, some people comment in the chat window earlier, like they like to use audio to provide feedbacks or respond to students. Audio is a good option. And the technology you can use for audio is Voki or Vocaroo. I'm not sure they used Voki before. Voki is a website, can create your own character, and you can do text to speech or record your own voice to show your students. Or we can do video. And no, I don't think you can archive in Second Life, but you can record your screen in Second Life when you do the activity. Okay, so when you use a video, you can use YouTube or VoiceThread. Those are very simple video activities you can do. Or you can use virtual board with a tool called Padlet. We'll talk about Padlet later today. And the second type of activity is announcement, which is very easy and straightforward. You can usually send it via email, or if I know in Blackboard Collaborate, you have an announcement, you can just send it in the system. And for discussion feedback, usually you can post in a discussion forum or you can send it via gradebook. And assignment feedback, you can similar. You can send it via gradebook. You can share with students via Dropbox, or you can do a Google Doc where student post the assignment on Google Doc. You can use the comment feature to share your feedback. The last one is learning journal. So learning journal is like a blog. And for the technology, we can use like Blogger, WordPress, Weebly, or Google Docs. Okay. So any question about those tools so far? I know I saw people talking about Second Life and Volkey. Yeah, Second Life. I like Second Life, but when we talk about to make sure it's easy for students to use, don't add extra burdens on them. It depends. Make sure that they have the tools and their computer is capable using Second Life because it's very flash heavy. Okay. So let's look at the tool we're going to talk about today. The first one is Padlet. So has anyone used Padlet before? I'm curious. Oh, good. Taryn has. Wow. Okay. So I see some people already have experienced Padlet. Good. All right. I'll have a few problems with Padlet. Okay. So let's just go to a little overview with Padlet, and we will go to a Padlet board and see how it works. So Padlet is a virtual board. It's like a whiteboard, but it's virtual, so you can post on the board. And it's free registration. It has unlimited board you can use. And I find it pretty easy. Just double click and create a new post on your board. And you can share it with your student via the URL. And the activity you can use for Padlet is, for example, icebreaker, introduction, and I find it perfect for group activity. Not much for, you can do it for individual, but at the end, you want to share it with a group. And the feature of Padlet is you can add text, image, audio, video, and document. So here's the link of the Padlet, and I want to share the simple Padlet board I created. Let me post it here. Okay, you should be able to see the hometown cuisine page. So what I would suggest an instructor is go ahead and register an account. It's free. I try without registering an account first, and then I decide to register one because as a registered account owner, when I create a board, I can manage the board. If you are just a user, you just went and create a free board without registration, then everyone can post and you won't have the ability to move things on the board, to delete the board, or to save the board afterward. You can only memorize the board via the URL. But with the account, every time I log in, it shows all the virtual board I have. So I know if I click here on the board, double click, it will show me an option to enter a new post. I can enter the title, write something, or attach a video, show image via URL. We'd like everyone to try to add a post on the board. Oh, now on the iPad. Okay, because it may involve Flash, so iPad is not supported. So it's good to know, what's the limitation of certain apps. So when you give it to assignment to student, encourage them, if it doesn't work on iPad, maybe they can try to use it on a laptop or computer instead. Good, so I can see everyone's posting. So you can see those are instant posts. And as an instructor, I have right to move the post around as the owner of the board, I should say. So, for example, the idea of this project is they have to look into the hometown cuisine and post like the Hawaii cuisine, the Taiwanese cuisine, or the Mexico cuisine, and they can add text, links, or video, audio. So, for example, if you click on the Hawaiian music, you can actually hear the audio that's embedded in there. All I need is a URL of the audio. Okay. So yeah, and also one reminder is it doesn't show who posted on the board, so it would be helpful to edit names. Okay, very good. So I can see some people already post a picture. Yeah, you can add unlimited posts on the board, and also one of the features is you can choose the background on the wallpaper. So I choose the map of the world because I'm talking about the world cuisine. So you can choose different kind of wallpaper that match the topic of your project or your discussion. Thank you. Somebody like my Hawaii music. So how to post? If you double click anywhere on the board, you should open the box that you can enter the information for you. Just double click. Okay. So if you move, if you move your mouse on top of your board, you should be able to move it around on the map. So like one more time, I like this app because not app, it's a website because it works in different browsers. I didn't know it has problem with iPad before, so now I'm aware of it. And you don't need student doesn't need to log in or register. They just need to go in, type their names, and enter information on the post, and you can see right away. They can go back to edit their post later as well. And as an instructor, you have the right, as I should say, owner of the board, I have the right to delete extra posts or to edit the post content if needed. Okay, good. All right, very good. So now we have an idea about how the Padlet works. Any questions? Did it work for you, Julie, about how to post? Judy?
No, actually, I don't know. For some reason, I won't be able to post anything. I double clicked on the map, the background, but it didn't. I tried to type. Then do I just hit enter? Then, but it didn't save. It didn't save that.
When you type, it shouldn't have to enter anything. When you type, it will just record it on the post automatically. And once you move your mouse away from the box, it should show your post and it will be saved. Okay. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed the Hawaii music. Do we have a question?
I think this is a great idea for group project. How it will be working if several students pick one topic and make a board? Can they access to this board from their own device?
So if you want to work as a group and post on the board.
Yes.
So yes, like Stephen said, each board has a URL. So you see a URL. So when I create a board, I will get a URL. All I have to do is share you that URL. Then you can share the board, same board, and work together. But if they have to work as a group and enter content in the same area without instead of individual posts, I will encourage that they use a Google Doc to put all the content together first, and then they go into the board to post it. Because the issue is, if I create my post, you cannot edit my post. You can see my board, but only I can edit my post. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So it is good for group activity, but you can see mostly we are still posting our individual responses and works. It's a good way to share. They don't have to download anything, install anything. I find it much easier for students, and they can see everything online and visual for them. Okay. Because we're running out of time, we'll move on to our next tool. a screenshot in case it didn't work. Always have a plan B. So next slide, we're gonna talk about Vocaro. I know we already talked about it. Yes, plan B is always the best. Sometimes plan C. C stands for candy. That's my plan C. Okay, Vocaro is good for audio recording and it's free. There's no limit on the recording time. But remember, there's no editing feature in Vocaro. It's very straightforward. You went into the website, start recording, pause, and that's it. So if you want to do 1 hour recording, I wouldn't suggest using Vocaro because we know you always have to pause, even come back to edit some clip if needed. So it's perfect for doing a show recording for student assignment, giving them feedback. But I wouldn't recommend for long recording. It's very easy to use. You don't need to install anything, and you can share via URL. You don't have to download the file or send it to the instructor. So the activity you can use for Vocaro is audio assignment or provide assignment feedback, even send a greeting to a student in the beginning of class. So here's a website, and I know that in last meeting when I was working on the web page, you won't be able to see my movement, so I took some screenshots to explain how Vocaro works. So first one, wrong order, coming up. Yes. So when you go to Vocaro, this is what you will see. Okay. So first page, it shows click to record. Okay. And then when you click to record, so it will ask you access your microphone. Just press allow. And when you finish recording, it will take you to this page. It shows 2 buttons. One should retry or listen. So first you listen, see if you like your recording. And then if you don't like it, you can click retry. Or if you like it, then you just go to click here to save. Okay, so when you click here to save, you will come to the next page. Gives you the URL of your audio recording. So if you want to share with your student, just copy the URL. Or if you want to embed in your website, just click embed. It will show you embedded code. If you don't like it, decide don't want this at all, you can use the button at the end, say delete now, you'll delete your recording. So that's Vocaro, that's what everyone's saying, so easy to use. Okay, any question about Vocaro? I know people sharing good idea about how they use Vocaro. Vocaro. Steven's good with words. Okay, so today we talk about the purpose of using technology for learner-instructor interaction, and we talk about using universal design of instruction principle to reduce technical issues or problems for you and your students. I encourage you to go to the website, and they have lots of useful information. You can find the link to their website under Dig Deeper in the TED section. And also we talk about tools for synchronized and asynchronous activities and Pepe and Vocaro. So thank you for listening. Let's see if you have any questions, or if you have some technical trouble experience before, you really want to share with others, you think you will help other instructors in online teaching, let us know.